Hi Cancer, my lunar brothers and sisters, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. So your key to the week is the Death card. Change, transformation, and movement. Whenever you see the Death card, this is an ending and a completion. This is about the energy of change, but it's also the energy of transformation. So when you see the Death card here, and this one's got the snake with the zodiac on it, right? And what the snake represents is transformation, but it's also rebirth and regeneration. This card is very heavily influenced by Scorpio and vice versa. They carry the same sort of energy. Now, remember, when you're talking about the Death card, this is an end. It is a completion. It is something that no longer has any relevance or bearing to the present moment or who you're becoming in the now. So whenever you see this card, don't freak out instantly and think, oh, you know, somebody's going to die, because it's not always that. There are usually very, very specific cards that need to attend when the tarot card of death is attending, when it is, portending death. So let's have a look at your actions and your path ahead. You've got the Ace of Cups. This is beautiful. I mean, your Ace of Cups, a fresh beginning, a new start when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your heart. Your actions and your path is what you do. This is about an ultimate change or an ultimate transformation when it comes to your relationships. And this is about you. This is about you saying, you know what, maybe I'm ready to give more of myself. Maybe I'm ready to put more of myself into my relationship if I have one, or maybe somebody new that's coming into my life. With your Ace of Cups, it's also a wish fulfilled. It's a heartfelt desire. And your Death card rule in Scorpio has those links as well. So it's kind of saying to you, what is it about your heart's desires that are starting to change? What is it that you are really prepared to evolve and change on a deep personal level in order to welcome in the kind of relationship or the kind of love really that you want? Which is a really beautiful energy. Your Ace of Cups basically says, what do you want? What is it that your heart is really asking you for, and how can you go about creating that brand new reality that you're seeking to welcome in to your life? Your communications and conversations, you have the King of Swords, right? So this is a great card for communication because it makes you swift. It makes you pretty much on the ball. Like, you're going to be one of the signs this week that is really speaking their truth, very much in their own element, really living and breathing their own element as well. And what I really like about the King of Swords is, so yes, it would be an air sign male. So this could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra person. Somebody of that nature that's cool, that's calm, that's collected, somebody that's very knowledgeable. It's also about your intelligence. It's about how you show up. It's about how you present yourself. This week you could be really on point with your communication. You could be speaking and thinking very clearly. Remember, even though Mercury is retrograde, it's offering a trine energy to you, which is actually a harmonious energy flow, even if the planet is retrograde, right? So that's a gorgeous energy for you to tap into, and it might give you a really clear mind to look through your past, right? To really look at what it is that actually is outdated, what is outmoded, what no longer rings true for you, how you're ready to transcend some of your personal lessons. On a really mundane level, this could be about letters, documentation of a legal kind, maybe some sort of a contract that you're looking at or looking over. Maybe there's something that you've waited for a long time is now starting to make itself known or present in your life. You could be getting some form of a communication this week, and it will be something from, something that you've wanted for a long time that comes to you this week. And it's coming through, I'm going to say a letter. It's not going to be online, it's not going to be an email. This will be an actual letter that comes through the door, and it will be delivering some sort of good news to you. Maybe it's some sort of freedom or liberation. Maybe you're being released from something, or something of that nature. For your money and materials, you've got the Four of Swords. So not an easy card when it comes to finances, because it does mean that finances and money will be slower this week than maybe they have in a while. Your Four of Swords asks you to rest. It asks you to take a seat. It asks you to take a beat. Now, the fact that you've got this in your money and materials, first of all, it is the number 4. So it offers stability. So the finances won't fluctuate this week. They won't necessarily go down, but they won't necessarily go up either. It just means that they're going to be constant and they're going to be steady. So when I say they slow down, if they were on an increase, this is where they level out. If you're at a current budget, it may very well just be that it stays there. It does suggest to me as well that this is not a week for you to stress or worry about money, especially underneath the Ace of Swords, because it kind of suggests to me that whatever is happening there, it will come good for you. And with the Four of Swords, it's kind of like just saying, like the universe's way of saying to you, just take your foot off the pedal and let what happen needs to happen. Coast through this week. Don't try to force it. Don't try to go above and beyond it. All right. Interestingly enough, yeah, because you've got that King of Swords there. What I wonder is if whatever this thing is that's coming in, it's something that you've wanted and you might now, so maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a new vehicle, maybe it's a new something. And here in the money and materials sector, you could be sort of maybe trying to stress yourself out saying, well, how am I going to pay for it? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? You're not supposed to go into any of that stuff. Just look over the whole thing, be ready and prepared to move when the time comes, all right? Your love and relations, you have the Three of Pentacles. This is a week where you could be learning about yourself through the eyes of others that you are connected to. You could be learning something about your previous or past relationships this week. You could be learning a lot about yourself this week. And it might be that for some of you, you decide, especially for those of you that are single, maybe you're saying to yourself, right underneath the King of Swords, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get some sort of qualification. I'm going to get some sort of skill underneath my belt. I've got smarts and I'm going to use them, which is great because it suggests for those of you that are in the learning seat or going to some sort of course or study, you could meet somebody in that place that ends up being really kind of nice to or for you. Now, it does come off the back of the Four of Swords, so it might be something that's a slow burner, or it might be something that is slow to get started, but ultimately, remember, this is about your learning. For those of you that are partnered, again, you're learning something about your partner. You're learning something possibly about your partner's past. It might be something that they're sharing with you that is a painful memory for them, which is why they haven't shared it up until now. They are ready to let this go and transcend this experience. So you need to be able to let them do that as well. Once they've given you the certain information, my advice is don't dig too much beyond that. Because you can end up causing a rift for no problem, for no reason. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.